Lindsey, can you please make a statement to the American people accounting for your actions? Lindsey, please make a statement to the American people. You are a politician. You are accountable to the people. Make a statement to the people. Why have you betrayed the American people? You think that's funny? You think, what's this Animal Farm? You think you're better than us?
What happened to your oath, Lindsey?
You won't be able to walk down the street anymore.
What about your oath, Lindsey? This is the rest of your life, Lindsey. This is the rest of your life, Lindsey.
How's it feel, huh?
Traitor, Lindsey Graham! Pedophile! Lindsey Graham, a traitor!
I appreciate it. This is the rest of your life, Lindsey. This is how you travel. Your life.
You think this is funny? You're laughing right now. This is funny to you? Watch out, buddy.
My take on it, I've said this for a while. People like Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham they've got something missing inside their head. They just have to be, because there is no way that former guy deep down really cares for what they got to say or anything. It's just using them. And I think the internal circus of the Republican Party arguing over what rights women do have and what rights they don't have, it sums it all up. Although, to be honest with you, I've said this several times, what right that particularly Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott have to interfere in anyone's private life and their private business? I mean, since when is Lindsey Graham telling somebody what they can do and what they can't do with their body? Just how does that work out? But anyway, I'm just here for, it's an internal GOP civil war. Literally. Mickey Mouse outfit. Correct.
My leadership, the Republican Party will always support the creation of strong, thriving, and healthy American families. We want to make it easier for mothers and families to have babies, not harder. That includes supporting the availability of fertility treatments like IVF in every state in America. Like the overwhelming majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republicans, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans, I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious baby. What could be more beautiful or better than that? Today, I'm pleased that the Alabama legislature has acted very quickly and passed legislation that preserves the availability of IVF in Alabama. They really did a great and fast job. The Republican Party should always be on the side of the miracle of life and the side of mothers, father, their beautiful babies, and that's what we are. IVF is an important part of that, and our great Republican Party will always be with you in your quest for the ultimate joy in life. Many people have asked me what my position is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that. My view is now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state. Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart or, in many cases, your religion or your faith. Do what's right for your family and do what's right for yourself. Do what's right for your children. Do what's right for our country and vote. So important to vote. At the end of the day, it's all about will of the people. That's where we are right now, and that's what we want, the will of the people. I want to thank the 6 justices, Chief Justice John Roberts, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Neil Gorsuch, incredible people, for having the courage to allow this long-term, hard-fought battle to finally end. This 50-year battle over Roe v. Wade took it out of the federal hands and brought it into the hearts, minds, and vote of the people in each state. It was really something. Now it's up to the states to do the right thing. Like Ronald Reagan, I am strongly in favor of exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. You must follow your heart of this issue, but remember, you must also win elections to restore our culture and, in fact, to save our country, which is currently, and very sadly, a nation in decline. Our nation needs help. It needs unity. It needs us all to work closely together. Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, everyone, we have to work together. We have to bring our nation back from the brink, and that's where it is. It's at the brink, and we will. We will do it. I promise you, we will do it. Always go by your heart, but we must win. We have to win. We are a failing nation, but we can be a failing nation no longer. We will make our nation great. We will make our nation greater than ever before. Thank you very much.
LJ, if you remember the debate that took place with Gavin Newsom and Governor Ron DeSantis on my show, I had to push Governor Newsom hard to get an answer. Would you support any restrictions in the 7th, the 8th, or 9th month of pregnancy? And the final answer was that should be a decision between a doctor, a patient, and their conscience, meaning he supports no restrictions at all whatsoever. That is the extreme position. Now, if you ask me where I stand personally, I'm pretty pro-life. If you ask me where I think the country is politically, I would argue probably the first trimester or Dobbs 15 weeks. Any Republican that would ever take a position, and the president was clear in his statement on this too, any Republican that would take a position, no exceptions for rape, incest, or the mother's life, that is political suicide.
Yeah, it is.
Any Republican that calls for a flat-out ban politically, I'm talking politically now, that would be outright suicide. But I'll tell you one thing, and this would be an admonition for any conservative or any Republican running, is if you're going to take that extreme position, you are going to lose votes. If you want to change the country, and if you want to close the borders, and you want to turn this disastrous economy around, and you don't like what's happening with war in Europe, war in the Middle East, America ostensibly has abandoned our ally Israel under the Biden administration. If you are sick and tired of defund, dismantle, no bail laws, etc., this election means everything. Now, any ad that any Republican in any district is running on abortion needs to be answered forcefully, immediately by any Republican candidate. If they don't do it, they are going to be positioned by the Democrats and likely lied about and demagogued about. But I thought the president was smart to get out in front of this. It's going to be a big issue. My opinion is the red wave that many expected in 22 didn't happen because of this issue. A case in point would be Doug Mastriano. He was at the top of the ticket. He was running for governor in Pennsylvania. He lost by the largest margin to a non-incumbent Democratic Governor Shapiro than anybody since the 1940s. He didn't even have exceptions for rape, incest, or the mother's life. Don't run from the issue. Deal with it head on. President Trump, I think, led the way today for Republicans to deal with that issue. Now, he also pointed out Governor Northrup's position. If you remember, well, first we'll let the baby be born, and then the doctor will talk to the mother, and then they'll decide. That is madness. Well, every Democrat has to answer the question, do you support any restrictions on abortion?